Hey guys, welcome to another bookish vlog. Another month of planning. I can't believe that March is already over, but I'm about to set up my April calendar and tracker for my books. I'm going to pick a couple books that I want to read this month. I'm also going to try to update some of my March stuff. I'm not going to go into the books that I read in March. You might see a little snippet of the books, but I will do a separate video talking about the books that I read in the next video, because as I'm filming this, today is March 29th, so we have 2 more days left in the month. Your girl is still reading. I am currently reading Roulette by Gray Huffington, so that's probably going to take up the next 2 days. I don't think I plan on reading anything else. That's probably going to be my last book of the month, but I kind of want to get that done and just get my thoughts together. Um, Finish updating everything for March, and then we can do a reading wrap up on my next day off later this week. So, yeah, if you want to see a little bit of the planning process, I try to show this the last couple months. I don't know if you guys like it or not, but it's also a way for me to document just my reading and my reading journey. This month or next month, April, is actually 1 year since I read my first romance book. So I'm gonna be like kind of celebrating that and looking back at everything that I read over the last year. I want to do a little TikTok reel video highlighting all the books that I've read. And I also want to start creating like a organized list of the books that I read in terms of like different categories. Like I want to put them into categories of tropes, so that way when I recommend books I can be like, okay, these are my favorite friends to lover, these are my favorite enemies to lover, holiday books. Like I have a mental note I have a mental note of the books that I've read, and I have good reads and all of that, but I just feel like I want to have almost like a spreadsheet with the books that I read, because now that I'm reading a lot more, I want to be able to look at that list and be like, okay, this book by this author is what I recommend for this. Um, so so yeah, I would say March was my best reading month ever. I told myself last month that I was gonna um stop tracking like the exact amount of books that I'm setting the goal for the month, because before it's like when you're starting to read, you're like, oh, I want to read one book, I want to read 3 books, I want to read 5 books. But when you get to the level that I'm at now, it doesn't even make sense to set like a physical number of books I want to read. So now I just set like a goal of I want to read new authors, I want to do this, I want to do that, instead of setting a physical number. And I think that also helped me to read more because I'm not putting like a number on it. So I'm going to turn you guys around a little bit just to kind of show you what's going on my iPad, and then we're gonna update a little bit of March, and then we're gonna go into April, and I'm gonna try not to make this video long. So I might cut out some of the little extras. Um, you guys can't see, but the bookshelf is coming along nicely. We are buying books, and I have books on the way, and there's new books coming out, and yeah. Yeah, so let me turn you guys around. All right, hopefully you guys can see. All right, so this is my March tracker. I like to put the book covers. I need to add all the ratings in here. I just need to kind of copy and paste. Let me go into my Goodreads. I also updated all my Goodreads reviews, so that is caught up. So, Forever My Bodyguard was the first book I read for the month. Right here, I gave it 4 stars. So I'm gonna add all the star ratings, but as you guys can see from the overview, I read 5, 10, 15, I think like 16 books. I think I still need to add the one I'm reading now, which is Roulette. Let's go ahead and add that in real fast. Um, so I'm currently reading this one, and I should be able to finish it between Sunday and Tuesday. So let's add that in here. Arrange. Okay. So this is the actual tracker for the month. I like to put all the covers, all the ratings. I might put, I might put the way that I read it on this little space, but I'm still trying to decide on that. And I still need to update the calendar tracker of everything that I read. So I'm going to do that. And then I need to do my reading wrap up of how many books, how many stuff. The only goals I had in March was to read a new author, finish a series, read one of my Bray books, which I don't know if I did, and listen to one book. So those were my only goals for the month. And then I was trying to build my spring TBR here. So yeah, April is here. So we're gonna set this up real fast and just put in all the dates. The screen is black, so you might not be able to really see what I'm doing, but I'm gonna just pop in all the calendar dates and then I'll come back and show you guys what it looked like. All right, y'all. So it is time to build my TBR for the month. I'm only going to do what I've been doing, which is add about 6 books that I really want to read in this little picture frame. You guys can't even see the picture frame. Put it right there. I was watching one of these girls. Anyways, hold on. All right. So I'm only gonna add 6 books that I really, 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 really want to read, and then I'll just read for the month. So I did add a couple books to Kindle Unlimited already that I really want to read. So I'm gonna find the covers and add them in here. So I'm just gonna split the view, open up Google, and this is how I get the cover of the books. So starting the month, I want to read The Oath. I think right now that's the first book I want to read. It is by T.M. Richardson. It is a poly romance, and I haven't read one of those in a while. So that's just what I want to read. So I'm going to grab the cover and drag it over and add it to the frame. Let's try to zoom in a little bit more. Okay. So added that to the picture frame. Next I want to read. So that's going to be cute and fun. And then after that, I think I want to read another Teeling book. So last month I read, I forgot what the name of it was. What was the name of that book? I'm trying to multitask here and see all the books that I've read. Okay, so last month I read Won't Keep You Waiting by Teeling. That was really, really good. Really enjoyed. So I want to read book 2 because I know she is coming out with book 3 at some point in the next few weeks or months. I'm not 100% sure. So I'm just going to um, go ahead and read book 2. That way, when she comes out with book 3, I am ready. So book 2, it's a 3 sister series. So this is I think the middle sister. So just going to add that in. Okay. So 2 down. Then I do want to read Brianne Denne's Jack Girls Atlanta. This is supposed to be like a suspense type book where it's like another sister's book, like 3 sisters or something. Something happens to one of the sister and they're like trying to figure out what happened. So this is her first traditional release. So I want to support. So even though this is typically not what I would read because of the suspense, or I don't know if it's a thriller, a thriller. I don't know if it's a thriller, but it's something along those lines. Suspense, thriller, crime, horror, I don't know. I just know I want to support her, and I downloaded the book when it came out, but I haven't read it yet. Send to back. And then I want to read. Ooh. I'm gonna dive into Capri, but that's gonna be. I'm gonna give myself about 2 weeks to start Capri. So I've been on this Jackwell J universe, and I finished Capadonna in March. So next up will be Capri. That is 3.5, but I just need like the first one. Yeah. So I'm just going to add a picture of Capri because that is also a priority for April. But again, I have to read this when I'm ready to dive into multiple books because they have cliffhangers, and once you start, you can't stop. So that is that. And then everything else will kind of just be me winging it. If that makes sense. Let me take off this filter and see what else is on here. I do need to dive into Colliding with Faith. This was on like my February TBR and I did not get to it, so I need to read this. I have too many series that I'm reading, and I just need to get back to some of these series so I can complete them. Because when I tell you I'm in the middle of so many different series and different book stuff. Okay, and I have one more space. And I think after all this, I want to read a physical book. So, do I want to read A World Around Us? Do I want to read Then Life Was Beautiful? Or do I want to read? I don't know what I want to read. Ugh, this is hard. Um, I don't know. I don't know. What else is on here? Once I hold on, let me just add one more picture and then see what else I have in here. And I can add real fast. Some of the books, I don't know when they come out, which day they come out, so hard to tell. I really need to read the other book. Where is it at? Beautiful Broken Love. I really need to read Beautiful Broken Love. Okay, so the last book is Beautiful Broken Love by Shanora Williams. I picked this book up like 2 months ago. I was supposed to read it in February, but it was too deep for me to read in February. This is a heartbreak type of book, and I was just not in the mood to read that in February. So, this is what we have. Let me turn it around this way. So this is kind of what we have for the month so far. Set up just the dates. I added all the dates in. I added a sticker for April Fool's Day, this little cloud with rains because it's spring. I added in Easter, and I added in Earth Day. Added a couple of decor little stuff on there. She had these little palm trees and leaves and stuff, so I added that in. At the bottom, I added this grass sticker, put a couple eggs on it. Really don't do the Easter egg thing in this family, but it is what it is. And then she had this sticker of this girl with the umbrella, and then you guys just saw me do the TBR, and I added this little bunny with the books and this little rain boot situation. Let me switch out my battery and then close this out. All right, y'all. So that is pretty much it. At least my calendar is set up for the month. I have 6 books that I really want to read. I mean, Capri is like 5 books. So technically that covers a lot there. Then I have my tracker set up for this where I'll put all the book covers once I read them. So I got that set up as well. Most of my book recommendations and stuff will come from people doing their reading wrap ups. So it's the end of the month. There's going to be a ton of videos about books that people read in March. So people will be talking about all the books they read in March and how good they were. And I'm going to be like, oh, I want to read that. That sounds good. So I'm leaving room for books that might pop up, and especially like there's new books coming out as well. So I'm probably gonna see a new release coming out right now off the top of my head. I don't know of any books that is coming out in April except for No Ordinary Love, which I already read. So new books might pop up. Oh, I forgot one book that I really want to read, and I thought I put it on here, but I didn't see it um in my library on my Kindle. But there's a book called, ooh, I can't think of the name. Hold on, I'll tell you. I think it's called The Devoted Wife because I have an advanced copy of The Devoted Husband, but the wife was the one that came out already. So I want to read Devoted Wife this month to get ready for the other book. Um, so that is another book that I really want to read. So yeah, that's how things happen. It's kind of just like what you're in the mood for, books that people are talking about, finishing series that I've already started, and reading other books that I really want to read. So I will keep you guys posted. Stay tuned for the wrap up again. I'm going to talk about the 15 like books that I read in March. So that will be up next Monday. Let me know what you guys are reading, if you're reading, what you're excited to read, what you're reading, what you read last month. Let me know. Comment down below and let me know. So until next time, guys. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.